Hey, Carol. I just figured it'd be easier for me to do a walkthrough and kind of give you my brain dump as I'm walking through the property. So I just walked through and got kind of a feel for what's going on there. Generally speaking, I think the path of least resistance is probably to rent it out as a 3-bedroom house. And you'll probably find a tenant that has an elderly parent or maybe a teenage or college son or daughter that needs a little privacy, but not a fully separate unit. That would be the simplest way to do things, but I think there are other possibilities as well. Just right off the bat, a couple things that I might mention. It looks like the exterior probably needs some paint pretty soon. And of course, we could do some upgrades in here, which probably wouldn't get you a ton more rent, but they would probably get you a higher quality tenant. Some smaller things, like I think the cabinets look okay, but maybe changing out the hardware, potentially putting some new countertops in there. Most of the carpet in here is commercial carpet, and so there's not any padding or anything underneath it, and it's not very cozy. And so I might suggest swapping out that carpet for some residential carpet that's a little bit more plush. And then same thing in the bathroom. I think the bathroom is okay. Maybe some simple things like swapping out a new countertop here would help. I think that this room is fine. Maybe some updated LVP or vinyl in the hallway. And obviously this is where things get a little bit more unique. The only comment I have in here is same thing with this carpet. There's residential carpet in here and it looks like it's in pretty good shape, so I wouldn't worry too much about this room. So a few thoughts as I'm looking at the way that this place is laid out. If you really wanted to bump up your return and get significantly better rents, I would put a bathroom right here, a modest bathroom, a shower, toilet, sink, and frame that in. This cabinetry over here is kind of unique, but I think if you did that and then potentially maybe built a small closet right over here and left this space for a bed or something like that, you'd have a pretty good studio unit here, which generally speaking, you could probably rent on its own for about $1,000. You'd run into some unique challenges there because now this small studio is the only unit here that has access to the backyard, and there's this big deck. So we'd probably want to look at options if you went that far to create a smaller, more modest backyard space over here and come up with a solution for access to the backyard, maybe back through this wall or potentially this window. So just some thoughts for you. Aside from that, of course, you have the option to frame this door in. I'm going to zoom out a little bit because I feel like I'm too close. If you framed this door in, which is probably how this was living before, you have a big 1-bedroom unit over here with its own bathroom through here. And so in that scenario, I think you could probably rent out this unit for somewhere in the range of $1,000 to $2,000. And then you'd have a 2-bedroom unit over here, which would probably rent out for somewhere in the range of $1,500 to $1,600 on the lower end without any of those upgrades. And I think you could probably get a little bit more with some of those upgrades. So if you just handed it over to us and said, just rent it as it is, we would still want to do some basic stuff. There's some touch-up painting to do and at the very least, some touch-up painting outside. As a 3-bedroom, 2-bath place with that additional living space, it's a very unique rental. I can't think of anything else that we have that's exactly like that, but I would say ballpark something in the range of $2,400. So that's what I would think. I think the biggest challenge in splitting the units is figuring out access to that backyard space, but that might be a significantly bigger project than you want to do. So anyhow, that's my 2 cents. Let me know how else I might be able to help you.